So if you're in the events world, you know the spreadsheet. It's your command center, right? Your master document. But what if that tool, the one you lean on every single day, is actually the source of your biggest headaches? What if it's less of a tool and more of a trap? Today, we're going to break down that spreadsheet piece by piece and see if there's a better way. First, we're going to talk about the seductive promise of that perfect-looking grid. Then, we'll peel back the layers on the illusion of control it creates, dive headfirst into the version control nightmare we've all been there, and see how you end up managing the spreadsheet instead of your event. After that, we'll talk about using the right tool for the job, which all leads to a big realization that might just change everything for you.
Okay, so let's start with a feeling we all know. A new event kicks off. What's the very first thing most of us do? Yep, File, New, Spreadsheet. And in that moment, man, it feels like the perfect solution.
Ah, yes, that beautiful blank grid. All those clean rows and columns, it just whispers promises of order, of clarity, of finally getting control over the beautiful chaos that is event planning. You feel like, okay, I got this.
And why wouldn't it feel perfect? You've got a little box for everything, right? Guest counts, supplier lists, timelines, all those random notes, costs, checklists, everything in one spot. It seems so neat and tidy. It's the dream, isn't it? Well, this is exactly where that dream starts to crack.
That initial feeling of being totally organized is powerful, for sure. But here's the thing. It's mostly an illusion. The real problem is you're trying to use a static tool to manage something that is incredibly dynamic.
Think about it. A spreadsheet shows you static data. It's just rows and columns. But an event is alive. It's about constant changes, it's about real conversations with real people, and it's filled with important context that you just can't cram into a little cell. The tool and the job, they're just not speaking the same language.
And this brings us to what we call the summary problem. See, every single time you read an important email or get a text update and then type a little summary of it into a cell, you're actually creating a second, watered-down version of your event. So now you've got two realities, the real event happening in chats and documents and the spreadsheet event. And your job just became trying to keep those two things in sync.
Which, of course, leads us to the most painful, most universally understood problem of them all, the absolute chaos of version control. The second you hit share on that file, the nightmare begins.
I mean, come on. We've all seen this. You have to laugh, or maybe cry a little. It starts so innocently, final event sheet. But soon you've got a V2, then a updated final. And before you know it, you're at the truly desperate client updates event sheet final, use this one. It's not just messy, it's actually dangerous.
And that leads to the million-dollar question, doesn't it? Which version did the caterer actually download? Which one is your AV team looking at? Which one did the client approve 2 days ago? When everyone is working from a different final version, mistakes aren't just possible, they're inevitable.
So here's the hard truth. Your spreadsheet is almost never a reflection of what's happening right now. It's a history book. Your team is working from old PDFs they exported, printed copies from last week's meeting, files they downloaded 3 days ago. That sheet is always playing catch-up with reality. Because of all this chaos, a really dangerous shift starts to happen. Your focus moves away from planning the actual event and onto just maintaining the tool. You stop being an event manager and you become a full-time spreadsheet administrator. You ever wonder why you can send out a super detailed spreadsheet and 5 minutes later your phone blows up with basic questions? It's because the sheet only tells you the what. It doesn't tell you the why or the how. There's no conversation history, there's no context for why a decision was made. It's not connected to the actual floor plan PDF, it's just data. And data without the story behind it is pretty much useless.
And this, right here, is the core diagnosis. All that time you spend updating cells, resharing files, and answering questions that the spreadsheet was supposed to answer, that's not event planning. That's just you managing the limitations of your own tool. Okay. Look, let's be fair. It's not that spreadsheets are evil or anything. It's just that we're asking them to do a job they were never, ever designed to do. And understanding that difference, that's the key. This table really breaks it down, doesn't it? Spreadsheets are fantastic for accounting, for budgets, for static lists. You're not going to change much. That's what they're built for. But they were absolutely not designed for real-time communication, for managing constantly evolving details, or for connecting people to documents and conversations. It's like we're using a calculator to try and write a novel.
So what's the alternative? Well, event professionals need a live environment.
a central hub where the information updates itself as the conversations are happening. Imagine a place where the communication is the information. No more translating, no more double entry, no more constant updates.
And all of this leads us to what I think is the most important takeaway of all. This is the big realization. And getting this doesn't just cut down on your frustration, it can change the entire game.
I really want you to hear this. All that stress you feel, that constant battle to keep things updated, that version control chaos, that is not a reflection of your organizational skills. It is not a personal failure. It is simply the natural, inevitable result of using the wrong tool for an incredibly complex job. So I'll leave you with this question. The next time you open up that spreadsheet for an event, just pause and ask yourself, is this thing really a tool that's helping me, or has it become a trap that's actually controlling me? Answering that one question honestly, well, that's the first step to getting back control of your events and maybe your sanity too.